Hello, hello. Just going live. If Instagram lets me, there we go. It just kicked me out. For some reason, it said they have suspected automated behaviors on my account. So they booted me out of Instagram. Not this again, I hope. Same thing happened to me on Facebook like, what, 2 months ago, I think? I don't know. But anyway, today, got a little bit more energy. I am on, it technically it's day 14 of the aggressive diet. I was doing it for like 13 days, but today is the refeed. So I guess today's not, well, it is aggressive, but in a different way. So I know a lot of you guys have asked me on my stories and stuff, what is aggressive diet? And I'm trying to get back to everybody. I am taking a little bit of time off social media, well, off DMs, basically. So if your clients, you need to be messaging on the app because I'm not really responding on my Facebook, basically. So yeah, my aggressive diet. What has happened, and why am I now calling it the Ozempic diet? So I did. So let me talk about what it is first. Okay, let's go step by step. Let's not get too excited here, too ahead of ourselves. So the aggressive diet is a diet. We will do podcast episodes on this. That is a rate limited process, which means that using research, it gives you the maximum amount of fat that you can lose without dipping into lean muscle. Okay, because what we don't want is to lose muscle, and a lot of crash diets, that's what you will do. You will lose muscle mass as well as fat and water. And we want to keep the muscle mass because if you want to look toned, if you want to be healthy, so not even about how you look, how you feel, then you need muscle mass, especially long term. So it's a rate limited process. It's based on science. There's a specific calculation that's done based on your body fat percentage, based on your age, gender, couple of other things also. But basically, it's all very, very specific. So some people have just said to me, I'm going to do an aggressive diet. It's like, well, no, you're not. Just by cutting calories is not an aggressive diet. That is not the point of it. And that's really dangerous. So please don't be watching my stories and be like, I'm just going to do this, because yours is going to be different. Cam's numbers are different to mine. My sister's numbers are different to mine. Some of our clients, well, all of our clients have got different numbers, a couple of clients that are using it. So you can't just like pick a random number and be like, I'm just going to do this and call this the aggressive diet. That's not, you're ripping it off. That's not what it is. So please do not just take my my word in and just translate it into your crash diet. It's not the same thing. So that's what it is and what it isn't, right? So what it isn't. It is not a diet where you just eat as little as possible. That is not what it is. It is macro specific, which means that it's not just about the calories, it is about the macros that you eat as well, which all diets and lifestyle, the way you eat generally, all nutrition should be. So generally, it is a high protein diet, of course, because scientifically this is proven time and time again that a high protein diet is the way to lose weight. Okay. So it is that, and then it's got specific numbers that you have to hit: protein, fat, and carbs. How did I not eat the other half of that cupcake? I felt sick, Sam. To be honest, I was like, I felt so sick. So yeah, you're given specific numbers on your calories as well as fats, carbs, and protein. And if you aren't very good at macros, this is not going to work for you, because it's a very, very low carbs and fats and very, very high protein. So most people on our client roster, so all across the world, our clients are hitting around 120 to 160 grams of protein, and they eat somewhere between 1,400 and 2,000 calories, right? Or plus 2,000 calories plus. Now imagine trying to hit that much protein on less than that. This is where people screw up, because they aren't educated enough on how to hit their macros. And also, to be honest, people are just a bit lazy. They can't be bothered to hit their macros. They're just like, oh, just want to eat where I want to eat. Well, it's not for you then. The aggressive diet also is not for anybody who has got a bad relationship with the scale, a bad relationship with food, and a bad relationship with exercise, or history of disordered eating. We don't want any of these things if you're thinking about doing it. And I think that's basically, you have to strength train. You have to strength train a minimum of 2 times a week, absolute minimum. Because what will happen is, even though the nutrition is protective of muscle, if you are then not doing things to maintain muscle and basically maintain it, because you're not going to grow muscle in this phase, then you're basically going to start eating away your muscle. So you need to make sure you're resistance training as well. So there are specific people that this will work very well for, and there's specific people that should not touch this with a barge pole. If you want to know which one you are, then message me and I will have a conversation with you and try to help you out. So that's what I'm doing basically. So I've done 13 days. One day was a little bit off because we were away in London with the girls for the photo shoot. Sidetrack, I announced on our page, and was it just email actually? We're doing a scholarship. We're doing a photo shoot scholarship. I'm going to create the little poster for it today. So if you're interested in that, you have to be above 30. It's all right. You've got to be above 30 to do the next photo shoot. And yeah, you can basically win. We will pay for one person to do the shoot coming up in December. Terms and conditions apply, obviously, all that kind of stuff. But check the email. Anyway, so I was doing it for about 13 days. Yesterday was my last day for this bout, and today's my refeed. So today's refeed, protein is the same, fat is this a little bit higher than what it was. Carbs are huge, guys. Like, carbs are more than what you would eat when you're not on a diet. It is very intense. It's very aggressive again, which is why earlier I said, yeah, it is still the aggressive diet today, just in a different form. So it's not a binge, it's a forced feeding, essentially. Hey, Beth. It's a forced feeding. So that's what I've got today. And luckily it's my dad's birthday. So there is a lot of quote unquote crap around. However, unfortunately, the crap is mostly cake, and that's got too much fat in. So I can't have that today. Sad time. So I'm going to have a little bit, but I can't just like gorge on it, which would be nice, wouldn't it? So why did I call it the Ozempic diet in this title? So for those of you who don't know what Ozempic is, or Mounjaro, it's a GLP-1. It's a chemical basically that makes you not feel hungry. It helps you lose weight, obviously, because you're not eating as much. It reduces appetite and reduces the ability to process certain foods. I think that's the best way to do it, to explain it. So some of our clients are on Ozempic or on like Mounjaro or wherever. So between us and the doctor, we're able to make sure that they are not losing muscle mass, of course, because that's a big issue when it comes to using these GLP-1s, as well as not having that good relationship with food. So afterwards, you just binge on shit. But this diet is similar in the fact that you will lose weight. You could lose muscle if it's not directed appropriately, if you're not eating right. But also it reduces hunger, appetite. And like I said earlier on, I had my breakfast today. I was like so excited to finally have like carbs. And it's also not a keto diet. I will say that it's not like I'm just doing keto specific. Hey, Bev. So even though I had like my breakfast, which was like 150 grams or 150 mil of egg whites, then I had some mushrooms, one egg on a bagel, a protein bagel. So I'm still getting the carbs and the protein in as well. Are you limited to the period of time to do the aggressive diet? I haven't covered it, Beth, don't worry. Yes and no. Yes, as in mentally, you can't do it for a long period of time. Other things come up like life. There's no suggested damage of the metabolism through this diet type, through this from what the science says. But obviously you don't want to be living like it forever. You don't want to be living on really low calories for the rest of your life. So no, there's technically not a limit on how long you can do this for, but there also is, if you know what I mean. The other things to consider are the fact that you do have to have refeeds throughout. So this is going to be my refeed. And then over a longer period of time, when you hit a certain percentage of weight loss, then you have a diet break, which is different from a refeed. So it's very nuanced per person, per lifestyle, per individual, per body fat, da 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 da. So yes, I know. Hope that makes sense. It depends, as always, right? Like it depends. That's the answer. So yeah, basically what this diet does is it puts you into a very similar state to being on Ozempic or Mounjaro or wherever else you want to call it, but you don't have to stick a needle in you, basically. And the other thing is the difference between this and GLP-1. So Ozempic, Mounjaro, what's the other one? Can't remember the other one. I've seen people abuse this, unfortunately, on TikTok. I don't think I follow anyone on Instagram or Facebook that's doing it, but definitely on TikTok, where they're using it and then they're like, oh, how much shit can I eat? As in, like, I'll go to McDonald's, see how much shit I can eat whilst I'm on Ozempic or Mounjaro or whatever. And then they'll like they'll get a pizza and be like, how much of this pizza can I eat before I feel sick? Like, we shouldn't be doing this, guys. We probably should be maintaining muscle mass as much as possible whilst we're in this extreme calorie deficit. And we shouldn't be further damaging our relationship with food. The fact that you're that overweight in the first place, that you have been prescribed or need Ozempic, is that you've got a bad relationship with food in the first instance. No one overeats on healthy foods. Very, very few. I don't know anyone. To know anyone that has got a good relationship with food and binges on broccoli. All right. So whilst you're in this Ozempic or Mounjaro jabbing, wherever they jab it, if you are not careful, you will get a worse relationship with food, which means that when you come off that jab, unless you plan on staying on it for the rest of your life, you will then binge all that weight back. And the unfortunate thing with that and this diet is the fact that if you regain the weight, it will be mostly fat. And that is why when people are saying to me, I'll just do an aggressive diet, it's like, no, you can't just do an aggressive diet. It has to be specific. Because in the end, like today, if I just ate loads of cake and loads and loads of like high fat foods, for example, that weight would go on to fat, to my body, just like it would if you come off Ozempic or Mounjaro. Versus having a specific guide of what you should be eating more of and less of, and then you adjust the macros accordingly. Then when you gain, when you eat, like tomorrow, right? I'm going to eat a lot today. Tomorrow my weight's going to go up, but it's not going to be fat. It's going to be gut content, it's going to be water and that kind of stuff. Versus if I just binge on shit all day, it would then be more fat on there as well. Things like Ozempic can have serious side effects, the usual vomiting, yeah, but I've read that these can cause temporary blindness. I have heard that actually, and have a negative impact on muscle, I believe. Yeah. So if you aren't doing things to protect your muscle and you're eating shit, like the girl I was just talking about, then yeah, you are going to lose muscle mass. And do you know what? You deserve it. If you're abusing your body, then you deserve to lose muscle mass and damage your health further. You know, I was saying this to someone the other day. Sometimes people need a small but serious enough health scare to start taking their life seriously and start taking their health seriously. And that sounds awful. Like, I don't wish, someone has a heart attack and goes completely blind. But it's like a small blip. Like the doctor's like, oh yeah, you really need to lose some weight, or this is going to happen, or something. Like, I feel like those people need that kind of shock to the system, stop pissing around. And it also makes other people who are following these specific influencers on TikTok and stuff go, oh well, I can still eat cake and pizza and burgers and shit as long as I've got this this GLP-1, as long as I've got this injection, I can eat whatever I want and still lose weight. And it's like, well, you could, but you're probably not losing the weight that you want. You're probably just losing muscle. Your body's going to look like a sack of shit at the end of it. And also, they don't actually know. I was talking to my sister about this earlier, because I said just like Ozempic, this diet. They don't actually know how Ozempic works. So obviously, and Mounjaro, I shouldn't just label Ozempic, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So it started off obviously with the diabetes as a diabetic drug, and then they started using it for weight loss in really obese people. Do you know what really obese people can do also? Like, I mean, hundreds of kilograms of weight, they just not eat, and they're going to be fine because they're not moving so much. Their body doesn't need extra food. Their body can basically eat the fat off their body and survive. There was a case, I'm not sure when it was, a guy fasted for like a year. He lost like 100 kilograms or something. But yeah, he fasted, didn't eat for a full year. Didn't die because his fat stores are basically is energy. So he stayed alive because his body used the fat that he'd stored instead of consuming more. Oh dear, what's that? There you go. So yeah, you're going to end up with a worse relationship with food, which nobody wants, especially us. Like, we are very pro good relationship with food, fix your relationship with food first, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of our clients say that they've got a much better relationship with food now because they know they can eat whatever they want and they're still going to be absolutely fine and still lose the weight without severe restriction. So update on my own weight loss, I guess, then over the last 12 or 13 days, minus that one day that I had a bit of I didn't go mad. I just was not on my diet 100%, which you should be, right? Like, on this progressive diet, you need to be on it. If you're like, I'm going to kind of do it, don't bother, because you're wasting your time and you're going to be in a waste position. So I've lost 6.6 pounds in just under 2 weeks, 6.6 pounds. So I've gone from 146.8, so nearly 1.7, to 140.2. I did want to get to 139 today. I didn't. I was like, damn it. But I'm due on my period also. So in my head, I'm like, well, technically I'm under. It's just, I'm doing my period. Yeah, so that's that. And I think I lost about, where was it? I think I lost like 11 centimeters, something like that. Only across two. You only measure two areas for this diet. So waist and hips. You also do neck, but I didn't lose anything off my neck. So that was 11 centimeters in less than 2 weeks. It's not too shabby, guys. Obviously, the more that you've got to lose, the easier you're going to have it to be able to lose. So I think my sister lost 9 pounds in 2 weeks. Yeah, 9 pounds in 2 weeks. So it is very doable. I'm curious to see what happens tomorrow after I eat today. But yeah, basically, now that I've eaten carbs again, now that I've eaten sugar again, got a headache. I felt sick very early on. And these are the kinds of things that people that are on these drugs say that they experience as well. They're like, oh, I can't eat as much as I used to. I want to eat it, but it's just I can't handle it. So it's very, very similar in the side effects. Anyway, back to what I was saying about Ozempic. These studies, so it used to be for diabetes and then it's for weight loss. And my sister said, I don't really know much about how they work. And I was like, that's funny, because neither did the people that invented it. They thought it was, did something to the gut and the like the leptin and ghrelin levels, the hormones. But now they're actually thinking it rewires the neurochemistry in your brain. So they don't actually know what's happening. So you're basically injecting the stuff into you and going, hope the scientists figure this out soon. Dangerous. Thanks, Beth. Well, that is it. I'm going to use my sugar, and I'm going to aim. I'm going to go to the gym, but I'm going to aim and do legs today, because obviously since my since the Friday before last, my diagnosis, I've not been able to train legs very well. I'm going to try and do some hinges today. So I'm going to do some, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some Romanian deadlifts and some leg curls. That might be about it. But I'm going to use the sugar. I'm going to have like some jam and toast before I go, if I can handle it. And then I'm going to go and use the sugar to do as much of a good job as I can at the gym today. So I hope that's helpful, guys. Cam and I will do like a full podcast discussing it soon. Podcast is coming out today. What is our podcast on today? Can't remember, but we've got podcast out today. So head over to our Spotify. It's there. It's Hungry and Hormonal. It's strategies on eating out, I believe. So how to eat out and still lose weight. It's very apt, isn't it? Because it's my dad's birthday today. So that's what you guys can listen to over there. Take it easy at the gym. Thank you. Good loss. Thank you. Thanks, guys. So that's it. We'll do podcasts on it. We got live in the Busy Women's Facebook group tomorrow. Yeah, Wednesday tomorrow. And I'm going to do the graphic for the photo shoot competition, scholarship, and transformation challenge today. And I'll get that out for you. But any questions, anything you want us to cover over the next couple of weeks, let me know. I'm writing the strategy. I'm writing the content strategy today and tomorrow. So if you want something covered, let me know. Otherwise, it's not going to get done. So I'll speak to you guys soon. Have a fantastic day.